Hello and welcome to the best of Rslash. Today we're taking a look at AskReddit, where we answer the question, what conspiracy theories do you think are too logical to ignore? This one isn't as serious as most of the ones on here, but I enjoy it and have gotten into many a conversation about it. In the 2017 NBA playoffs, a player named Markieff Morris, who at the time played for the Washington Wizards, hurt his ankle in Game 1. This was only 11 minutes into the game and he didn't return. The injury looked like he would be out for a couple of weeks and no one expected him to play Game 2. But he showed up Game 2 and played as if he was never injured. In fact, had his best game statistically of the playoffs to that point. Here's where it gets interesting. Markieff Morris has an identical twin brother named Marcus who also plays in the NBA. His brother was playing for the Pistons, who were eliminated from the playoffs already. The theory is that Marcus played for his brother. Both brothers have the exact same tattoos and don't have any super apparent different traits. Denver Airport being a fallout shelter for the elite. The fact that it went like $1 billion over budget and all the symbolism. $1 billion? 3. It's $3 billion. So my dad actually confirmed a popular Reddit conspiracy theory. I told him about the laundry detergent caps have the full line too high on purpose, and he told me this was true. He interned at P&G, and they taught him the full line was for the highest level of cleanliness our product can give. You can get away with using much less detergent. Joke's on him, I just pour in a random amount of detergent every time. 1. Kennedy gets elected. 2. Kennedy is critical of the CIA, his own vice president, and military for wanting to turn the Cold War into a hot one, and the willingness to perform false flag operations, Project Northwoods, to do it. 3. Kennedy is shot. 4. His vice president takes power. 5. Classified. You missed out the most important part. He bangs Marilyn Monroe. Edit. Step 2.5. Kennedy bangs Marilyn Monroe. Pretty sure I saw it here on Reddit at one point, but someone brought up the art trade. That these $1 million art shows, individual pieces that go for insanely high prices, are just a way for money laundering. Tax write-off even. So a real estate friend of mine told me that if you made $1 million, you should get a shitty painting done. Have a mate who happens to be an art critic or evaluator value the piece at $50,000, then donate that piece to charity stating its value. That allows you to claim a deductible of $50,000 towards your taxable income due to your charitable donation. Genius. I worked in a museum for 10 years. A very wealthy woman, who was the head of the board of directors, would have her son buy works of art for the museum, like a $300,000 to $400,000 work of art. He would then donate it to the museum and get a full tax write-off for it. And by donate, I mean it would come with a stipulation that it would go back into his own personal trust after a period of 10 to 15 years, in which time the work would have risen in value to about 1 to 1.5 million and could be sold off. The way the wealthy can hide their money is unlimited. David Miscavige, the chairman of the Church of Scientology, definitely murdered his wife and is getting off scot-free for it. Him and his wife got into a pretty heated argument in 2007, and she hasn't been seen since. Lawyers hired by David claim she is still alive and devotes 100% of her time to work at the Church of Scientology, which is why she hasn't been seen since August 2007. In 2013, a former member of the church had filed a missing person report that was closed after a few officers had spoken and seen Mrs. Miscavige, even though there's no evidence whatsoever of this meeting. All missing persons reports are now turned down since this investigation is forever closed. And in response to that, Leah Remini has had it investigated as well and written letters to Shelley with no response. Before Leah left the church, she wrote letters to Shelley that the church refused to deliver, and when she asked where Shelley was, she was told she didn't have clearance to ask that question. Interesting. Amazing that I haven't seen Gary Webb mentioned. Exposed the CIA for assisting in drug trafficking and committed suicide with 2 bullets to the head. In response, worst case of suicide I've ever seen. This one is small and local, but still too insane to ignore and just came up today. Just recently, our small suburban town's favorite gas station went out of business. Everyone went there. The guy who ran it was the mayor. He retires and sells the property after an issue with the ground underneath the gas pumps. They tear down the gas pumps and keep the garage. Mavis Tire bought the property and opened a new store. A few days after the Mavis opens, someone posts a picture on Facebook of an intersection at a road near it with nails all over the road. The guy theorizes that a box of nails fell off of a construction truck. The police come clean it up and it seems all is well. Fast forward a few days later, and people are commenting on the post that they're finding nails in their car tires, not just from that intersection. People jokingly say maybe it was the new Mavis guys throwing nails around, but nothing really happens. Several weeks later, people have been posting day in and out pictures of nails in their car tires. My dad took my car into the Mavis in question about 3 weeks ago, and they found a nail inside of the right front tire. I noticed that it was driving sort of funny, but never that my tire was on the verge of exploding. I jokingly said, people have been saying you guys have been just going around and throwing nails all over the place, trying not to laugh at how insane it sounded to say it out loud. The guy behind the counter said nothing but, yeah, with a weird smirk. Over 50 people have posted on the town Facebook that their cars have had nails in their tires. My mom is driving my car now because her car has a nail in the tire. It's been almost 3 months. I'll post updates if anyone is interested. Edit. It totally might not be Mavis. There isn't any proof right now, and there are other possible reasons for the nails, but the time is too perfect to ignore. The Denver Airport Theory. I mean, the capstone of the building literally has the Freemason logo on it. There's some weird-ass apocalypse murals on the walls, the runways look like a swastika, and there's a 50-foot-tall horse statue with red glowing eyes. I mean, seriously, who the f*** designed that place? Building the airport costs $3 billion, more than expected, and the labor was piecemealed out through countless contractors, so nobody who built it knows the full scope of it. Oh, and that 50-foot-tall horse statue with red glowing eyes killed its creator. DIA is a weird place. I have a buddy who did work at DIA, confirmed the whole underground thing goes way underground. He was let in an elevator with security and was escorted to a massive underground space. Wasn't able to leave without security escorts, that whole thing. Plus, DIA was one of the largest earth-moving projects, at least in Colorado. I'm sure there's a stat somewhere for that, and they moved way more ground than seemed necessary. DIA's been undergoing renovations recently, and the marketing pokes fun at the conspiracy theories. It's been funny, actually. Lucifer, the demon horse, did kill its creator, but he's still Denver's favorite red-eyed demon horse. That Debbie, who used to work in accounting, stole the succulent I had on my office desk. She always made comments about how much she loved it. Then she quit her job here. I come into work the next day and it's mysteriously nowhere to be found. Haven't seen it since. That karma on Reddit really does nothing. Thank you for listening. You have been listening to the best of Rslash. Please hit that like button because that is the best and fastest way to help our channel grow. Also, if you didn't know already, we post content like this every single day, 7 days a week on both YouTube and on podcast.